Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be making the ice mice from the Honeydukes Harry Potter series. So in these ones you get this lovely capsule, looks a bit like a cloche. You pop the table right in there like that and it clips in there. So that's that. I'll show you everything you can get. So in this series you can get the chocolate frogs, the exploding bonbons, which I have and haven't made, the Bertie Bott's every flavour jelly beans, the jelly slugs, which I don't have, the cauldron cakes, which I have and haven't made yet, the sugar quills, which I have made, the chocolate frogs I've made as well, the ice mice, which is the one we're doing today, the fizzing whiz-bees, which I still haven't got, the sugaring skulls, which I still don't have, jelly snakes, which I don't have, licorice snaps and candy skeletons, which I do not have. Then we've got the three rare, ultra rare and limited edition. Very cool. Really want those. So that's all of those at the moment. And this is the one we're going to be making today. So we have our lovely little mould. I've already taken the paper off of that. Got a lovely little mould. We have our nozzle. We have our tongs. We have a little bag of mice. And let me just go and grab the resin. Sorry, one second. Sorry about that. I forgot that I'd put it onto my unused resin shelf. So the first step they tell you to do is to put the resin into the mould. So I will do that and then we cure it. So there's a layer underneath the mice. So let me just do that. That was a lot too much. I'll just grab my spatula one second. Okay, so I'm back now and I've got my spatula. So I'm just going to take some of that resin out because I put way too much in there, because obviously it tells you to use a nozzle and I don't know why I'm so adverse to using them. You really should use them, don't be like me. Let me just scrape that off there. Okay. There we are, right. And I'm going to put the nozzle on. I'm going to do this properly because that's what you should do. So let's pop the nozzle on. I like the ones that come with the Honeydukes. They're very long. It's very good. So let's just give that a second to pop itself down there. Thank you. Much more controlled now. Should have listened to Miniverse. If you ever see this video, I very much apologise that I didn't just listen to you. Okay. So I feel like that's not enough for what they want from us. They want us to have enough, by the looks of it, just to cover the bottoms of the mould spaces. So I'm just going to manipulate that a little bit just so it goes along the edge of all of the recesses of the mould, to make sure that we get a nice even finish. As I've said with some of the others, if I end up with little bubbles in this one, I'm not overly bothered because it's supposed to look like ice. So it's not the end of the world for me if I end up with little bubbles. You may be different, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's supposed to be liquid ice. So it's supposed to be like, you know, see-through sugar syrup, I guess. But if I end up with small bubbles, I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm just waiting for that to go into the last few corners. I'm just going to add a little bit more to this one. And then a little bit more to these two as well, I think. We don't want too much, but we also don't want it to not coat the bottom of each recess. it's quite a lot more actually. Okay. Once you're satisfied that it has gone into all the corners in a nice even layer in all of the holes of the mould, and you're going to get a nice level. I'm not too bothered if they're slightly different heights. You know, if we get a slightly thicker bit of ice on one, it's not going to bother me. So again, you might be different to me, but it's not going to bother me. So I'm not really going to pay attention to that. Just going to make sure that it's all coated in there. One more drop in there. Anywhere else I feel? Yeah, just one more drop in here. Okay. Just making sure that's absolutely everywhere. As I say, let's see, we've got some bubbles here. I could pop them, but I quite like them where they are. That one, however, I am going to pop because that is quite large. I don't want a large bubble, I just want small ones if I'm going to have any. So just scrape that last bit of resin out. There we go. So the bottoms of the moulds are covered, so I'm just going to pop that into my lamp and I'll come straight back. While I'm waiting for that to cure, I'm just going to show you this lovely little display stand that we've got with this one to put our little mice onto once they're done, and I'll show you the mice themselves. All the Honeydukes ones that have bags and stuff have this cute little let's just see if I can, there we go, this cute little Honeydukes tag on them. Like when I did the sugar quills, they had that on them as well, and it's very cute. Okay, let's see if this bag will let me open it as it is, or if it's going to make me cut it. It's going to make me cut it. It doesn't look like it's very far at the top there, so that's fine. There we go. I did toy with whether or not to do these as a remix or to just do them as they are, and I think I'm going to do them as they are. I think they're quite cute. So we have 10 little mice. Let's grab our little tray out of here. We have 6 little moulds here, so we're going to end up with 4 extra, which is pretty cool. So once we've done that, it suggests to put the mice into the recesses and then put the rest of the resin in. I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to put some more resin in, pop the mice in, and then do a coat over the top of them instead of the other way around. So I'm just putting a little bit into each. I feel that this is the best way to not get excessive bubbles, because if you're pressing something into the resin, it's going to be less likely to cause bubbles than doing it a different way. So I'm just going to pop that upside down over there, just so that we've got enough for the final stage when it gets there. Okay. So it says to put them in this way up, so that's what I'll do. I was going to do them the other way up. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do them the other way up, because I think they look better, or they will look better, with the flat side being the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do. Take my little mice, pop them in upside down, because the mould is symmetrical, it doesn't really matter which way around you do these. You can do them all the same way, you can do them different ways. It's not going to make any difference at all to the final product. because as I say, the moulds are symmetrical. Okay, so now they're in their little baths. Let's grab the rest of our resin, pop a nice dollop on the top of each one, and just let that do its thing while we fill the rest up. And then if we need to make any adjustments afterwards, we can do. This resin, I thought it was clear, but it does have a slight blue tint to it, which is really cute. So it's going to look extra icy in there, which is nice. So I'm just putting an extra blob in each of these because as it's starting to disperse, you can see that it's not fully filling the mould up. So just making sure that everything has a nice even coating of the resin. And as we go, we can see it sort of leveling itself. We can try and work out. Some of these may not be perfectly flat on top, and that's okay as well. If there's a slight roundness to them, I don't mind that. Another blob there. Another blob there. Extra little bit there because that one's really not filling up very easily. And then one final bit on the edge here, I think. So let me just check them. I just need to make sure that it's all coated on top. So that we don't have any of the matte mouse left sticking out of the mould. These moulds appear to be a lot deeper than they look, which is a very good thing, but quite surprising. Got a big old bubble there. Let me just get rid of that. Okay. A little bit more. Okay, I think that's all of them done. So let me just go back in and remove any bubbles that are on the surface because they will matter because they'll leave holes once they've cured. I don't mind if there are any trapped inside, but I do mind if they're on the surface. I'm just going to move this mouse over a little bit because it's a little bit on the wonk. That's the technical term. I've let some of the resin seep out of the mould a little bit because I want it to look like the ice is starting to melt. Even though I know these are candies and not actual ice, I think it'd look better that way, personally. Okay, well I'm happy with that now, apart from this one. So I'm just going to pop that into my mould, my lamp, sorry, for 2 minutes, and then I will be back with you. Okay, so I noticed after I'd finished curing this once that it tells you to put it upside down and cure it again, so I did that quickly. They are fully cured now, so now it's time to demould. So I'm just going to push them out from the back like that. We have one little ice mouse, which I think is very cute, so I'm just going to pop him on there. Do the same with the others. And again, they're very cute. Got a couple of bubbles trapped in there around the mice, but again, I don't care because they're supposed to look like ice candy. So I don't really mind if there's a bit of bubblage. And obviously I think we've probably got enough resin left in there to do 1 or 2 more. And obviously we've got enough mice that if we wanted to do more, we could. So I'm just going to pop them onto this tray in a nice little display. Like this. And there we are. Our ice mice. They're very cute, I think, personally. And yeah, I really like them. I think they're really sweet. I'm not a massive Harry Potter fan, but I really do like the Harry Potter range. I think it's really, really something. And that'll look amazing as an addition to anything, whether it's a Miniverse collection or a doll's house. Whatever you do with these, that's really going to make it. So thank you again for joining me on this one. It has been lovely spending time with you again, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.